Okay, so just hang tight just another second to make sure that we have like our audios, feeds, and everything else set up. Just there one more second with me. Adi will also do like a part live demo today. So that's pretty much comes to kind of give you the tools to deal with your work as a penetration tester or in security testing. And I feel like the last few presentations have really kind of built on top of each other. We know that we're probably going to go a bit longer today than what you were planning on, but I hope that you're comfortable. You can grab like an extra snack, an extra cup of tea, or whatever you want. I don't recommend coffee because we need to let our brain kind of take in all the information that we had today. Plus, there are 2 more awesome presentations coming up after Adrian will talk to us. So that's going to be quite interesting as well. So yeah, just hang tight just another second. And if you have questions, please add them in the chat or in the Q&A session, which are running for each track. You can like just refresh and find your way there, and that should, you know, give us, you know, questions that we can ask our speakers. So don't be shy. There's no one here, like you don't have to raise your hand or anything. I'll just make sure to pass those questions on to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Andra, from the introduction. My name is Adrian Fortuna. I am the founder of pentesttools.com, and today I'm going to introduce you Sniper, which is the latest tool that we've been working at pentesttools.com that is capable of fully automated exploitation. And today I'm going to show you how to automatically exploit some of the most common and well-known vulnerabilities from this year, like ProxyShell, OMIGOD, and others. So this will be the agenda. I'll tell you a few words about pentest tools, then I'll introduce Sniper, and in the second part of the presentation, we will do a live demo. So pentest tools, it's a Romanian cybersecurity company, and we are creating a penetration testing platform for offensive security teams. It's a cloud-based platform which allows penetration testers to do faster engagements with better results, we say, and with lower costs. Here's a small distribution of the customers that we have from US, UK, and others. And besides that, we are proud to say that we are an official contributor to the OWASP Top 10 2021. You know that this version has been recently released. On pentesttools.com, there are a couple of tools for penetration testing, which are spread into these categories. So we have tools for doing reconnaissance, like Google hacking, finding subdomains, domain names, virtual hosts, port scanners, and so on. Then we have vulnerability scanners, which are split into web scanners and network scanners. Many of these are custom vulnerability scanners written by our team. And the last category is the offensive tools, which can be used for gaining access and doing the more offensive part of the penetration test. And from this category, I'm going to show you today Sniper. So let me tell you the problem that we've encountered that led us to create Sniper. So as a penetration tester myself, I've been doing this for more than 10 years. We've noticed that common vulnerability scanners tend to produce a lot of noise. This meaning that, of course, they produce true positives, which sometimes they have an inaccurate risk rating, which is often too high. For instance, you will pretty often find vulnerabilities related to outdated PHP version, which the scanner gives you as a very high risk or critical. And when you see this from a pen tester's perspective, it's actually not useful at all, because in the vast majority of the cases you cannot exploit it and to do anything with it. In the same category, there are vulnerabilities related to SSL ciphers, weak SSL ciphers, and so on. So when you do a vulnerability scan, you have a high chance of having this type of uninteresting results from an attacker perspective. And also there are the false positives, which are actually not vulnerabilities at all, reported by some scanners. So as a result, a lot of time is being spent in triaging these results when doing vulnerability assessment, and when doing penetration testing. For instance, if you have a large scope and you run a vulnerability scanner on it, then you need to spend a lot of time passing through all the findings and to see which one is exploitable or not, to help you gain the initial access that you need to enter the system. Okay, so for that problem, we have created Sniper, which is an automated vulnerability exploitation tool integrated in pentesttools.com. And what it does, it tries to automatically exploit and gain access to the target system, and then automatically extract some sample data from the system in order to give you a strong proof of concept that the vulnerability is real, and to help you convince your customer that they have a real issue and they need to patch it as soon as possible. Or on the other hand, if the exploit is not successful, then maybe that is not such a high risk issue as the vulnerability scanner says. And now you're wondering maybe what exploits does Sniper has, or what vulnerabilities tries to exploit. So we have decided to implement in Sniper detection and exploitation capabilities for the most critical and high-risk vulnerabilities found in common enterprise software. So as I mentioned in the beginning, you probably have heard of ProxyShell, ProxyLogon, Proxy Oracle, OMIGOD, and others. And not only these ones, which are mainstream, but also other vulnerabilities which give you direct access to the target. There has recently been some remote code execution in GitLab, for instance, and Cisco and others. So these vulnerabilities implemented in Sniper are also being used by ransomware gangs to get access to the system by malware or pen testers who are doing this manually. Yeah, and here's a sample of these vulnerabilities. You may recognize this CVE in Apache server, which allows you to read arbitrary files. This is the OMIGOD vulnerability in Microsoft Open Management Interface. In Microsoft Exchange Server, ProxyShell, Atlassian, VMware, GitLab, Citrix, Cisco, and so on. So we focus on software that usually is being utilized in enterprise. The exploitation process that I'm going to also showcase immediately follows these steps. So the tool starts by scanning the target for open ports. It fingerprints what type of services there are running on those ports, and based on that, it selects only the exploits that are matching those services and versions. It runs them against the target, and if any of the exploits succeeds, then it proceeds with extracting the artifacts from the target. And what are these artifacts? These artifacts are the data that is extracted from the target. And here are some categories. So Sniper extracts the current user to see under which account the exploit is running as. The system information to get information about the operating system and the environment. Sensitive files, I'm going to show you immediately. List of local users, running processes, network configuration, connections, and so on. So you can get a pretty quick overview of the target that you have gained access to. Here is a sample artifact. It's extracted from a Linux machine. You can see that you can browse through the files and read, in this case, a certificate file. Another one from a Windows system. You can see some text file that you can read from the target, which contains some sensitive information. We will see this in the demo also. And here is an interesting one. When exploiting a path traversal vulnerability in the 40OS SSL VPN appliance, Sniper manages to automatically parse the web session file, which has a binary format, and extracts from there the clear text credentials for connecting to the VPN appliance. So here's a sample output from that. Before starting the demo, I will also quickly pass through the alternatives that you have. So when you do a penetration test, of course, the first choice would be Metasploit, which is a free exploitation framework, which we all know. That is a very good tool. And we also may use some exploits that can be found on GitHub. However, these are the differences between these free alternatives and Sniper. So as you may see, Metasploit is a fully manual tool. Every step from here needs to be manually done, and the pen tester needs to know very well what he's doing when running Metasploit. So it does automate manual port scanning. Sniper does it automatically. Manual fingerprinting. Sniper does it automatically. Manual exploit selection. Sniper does it automatically. There's a catch here that with the automatic exploit selection, we ensure that all exploits that we run are verified, are safe, and there is a very low risk or even no risk of crashing the target or taking it to an unstable state, because we verify very well the actions performed by the tool. However, an important difference between Metasploit and Sniper is that Metasploit gives you full shell access to the target, and you can do whatever you want from now on. While we chose at Sniper to not give shell access at all to the customer, since we want with Sniper to do controlled exploitation. and we don't want through the platform to give a remote code execution access to the targets for any end user. Then after in the post-exploitation phase, in Metasploit, you have to do it all manually. In Sniper, there are these artifacts that are being automatically extracted.
Sorry to interrupt. You're breaking up a little bit. If there's anything you can do to, if there's anything
Sniper does more work for you. And so on. And the reporting, of course, you don't have any interesting reporting.
Adrian, you're breaking up
in Sniper
quite a bit.
It's integrated in pentestool.com. It takes advantage of the built-in reporting capabilities of the platform, and it's very easy to create a decent report. And of course, Metasploit is local, and Sniper is a cloud-based solution. Yeah, so enough with the talking. Let's see it at work. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to connect to pentest.com.
Adrian,
this is
your sound is breaking off quite a bit.
This is our main website. I'm going to enter to my account. I'm having a bit of a delay here. Okay, so this is the dashboard. I have created a dedicated workspace for this demo, and we're going to start with a scenario saying that we have a target domain for our pentest. We'll use this pentest-ground.com. It's a domain owned by us. Sure. So I was saying that I'm adding a target domain here that we should use in our penetration test. Okay, and the first step that we may want to do in a pen test is to see what subdomains there are there. And for that, we'll use one of the discovery tools in the platform. It's the find subdomains. This should finish pretty quickly because there are not so many targets here. And you can see that the tool also validates the subdomains and translates them to IP addresses and gives some brief information of the types of services that are running there. Okay, we have some Confluence, some core, dev, mail, and so on. We can do a lot of things here. We can scan them for open ports. We can run vulnerability scanning on them. Let's first add them to the targets list. so we can do more scans. So here, from starting from the target domain, we have produced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subdomains. So the attack surface has enlarged. Okay, and for these ones, what we should do, we should scan them for open ports, for instance, but you already know how to do that. I would like to, we'll do some port scanning first. We do top 100 ports and so on. The thing is that the beautiful thing with pentest tools is that you can start a lot of scans and just let them run, and come back a bit later to see the results. Okay, so we started some port scans, and we will see later the results. And after that, we will do a vulnerability scan to see what type of results do we get. So in this case, we will use our network vulnerability scanner, which is embedded in pentesttools.com. This is a solution based on the free OpenVAS scanner, but on top of that, we have added our own detection modules that are detecting vulnerabilities that will be later exploited with Sniper. So I will start also a set of vulnerability scans on this. You can see that the port scans have almost finished. In order to easily see the results of the port scans, we have an attack surface here, which aggregates all the results from some of the tools. So we have multiple ports here. The attack surface is even increasing. Let me get back to the scans. So for instance, we'll look at network vulnerability scanner for this host, which right now says that it is down. We will do that again. Let's try on dev.pentestground.com. Okay. We're missing some port here. Okay, so let's see what the problem is. So these are all the scans running right now. So the port scans have finished. Let's see on Confluence, on the Confluence server, it found port 80 open, which is good. So if we go there to see what is there, we see the Atlassian Confluence application here, which is good. Then if we look at the port scan for mail, this has also finished, and it has found a lot of open ports. And what is here? Here is the Outlook Web Access interface. So meaning that at this target we have a Microsoft Exchange server. Okay, and I also wanted to show you here the result of, yeah, we have one. So the network scanner that we have run against the mail server has reported us the same open ports as Nmap, but also has detected some vulnerabilities. So we have remote code execution from ProxyShell. We have a detailed explanation here. But if we give this report to a system owner, for instance, they may fight back and say that this is not true because I don't know. For instance, I just updated the server, or it uses automatic updates and it should be updated, and they can challenge you. But in order to prove them that these vulnerabilities are real, you can exploit them with the sniper. So for that, you just need to go to the interface. It's simple as entering the target. Okay, and I'm going to leave only the port that I know that it's vulnerable in order to make it a bit faster. And I'm going to let it run. So and in parallel, I'll also run Sniper on the other two hosts. I know that are having some vulnerabilities there, and on Confluence. So right now we have. Let me show you how Sniper actually works. So you can see here an console output. It's saying running TCP port scan against the target on top 100 ports. If you remember the steps that I told you previously, it has found two open ports, 80 and 22. Right now, what it does, it's fingerprinting the HTTP service on port 80. It found the Atlassian Confluence application, and now what happened, it finished execution and closed my console. So after the fingerprint succeeded, I'm zooming in here so you can see better. It's looking for compatible exploits on each port. And for port 80, it has found two possible compatible exploits. And checking if it's vulnerable to Atlassian Confluence RC, that one, saying target is vulnerable, it's trying to gain an exploit session, successfully gained it, and now it starts the post-exploitation phase with the extraction of the artifacts. And this extraction means actually running some simple commands on the target, like uname, who am I, ID to see the current user, list of local users, and so on. So this console output can get pretty messy, and that's why we have put it in a more visual format. And this is the exploitation summary. Here is the port that has been exploited, and then follow the artifacts. What you can see here is the list of local users from the system. You can see that we have left only those with an active shell, so who can actually connect with the SSH to the server. A list of processes, and these are the disk drives. You can actually browse here through some of the files and some of the files are being extracted automatically from the server. I will have some more interesting examples in the next targets. So this is the exploitation of the Confluence platform. Going to the other one, this one was also successfully exploited. So this machine is also a Linux machine, and it's OMI. And the story with that is that this agent was being automatically installed in cloud. If you were deploying a Linux machine and you were enabling some Azure services on it, then Azure would push that agent automatically to your cloud server. And this agent, OMI, was actually vulnerable to remote code execution and would give you root access to the server, would give any attacker root access to that server. So in case Sniper has managed to obtain remote code execution as root on this server on both ports, and here, since we are root, you can see that Sniper has also extracted the password hashes of the users, and in this case you can see Emily that is also in the groups in the root group, and meaning that she has higher privileges on the system. And if somebody can crack this password, then can use to access the system. This is the list of processes from the machine. And also, again, in the file system artifact, if we look in, since we have root privileges, we can look into the home folders of each user. And in the root folder, we can find some certificates. We can find the bash history file, some configuration files, and facts are the network configuration of the network cards, neighbors from the ARP table to see what other machines are in the network, listening services, and we can confirm from the local machine the same ports discovered with the port scanner. And yeah, this was the exploitation for a Linux machine. And at the end, I want to show you the exploitation for the ProxyShell vulnerability. So we're looking at the mail server here. And we can see that Sniper managed to obtain remote code execution as user anti-authority system. Okay, here are the details about the machine. It's a Windows Server 2016. Microsoft IS server on port 443. And now, here is the list of local users from the Windows machine. We have the administrator. We have John River, who is an IT manager. Here is his password hash. We have Susanna, who's a help desk assistant, also the password hash here. We have Danny Scott, who's a database administrator, also the password hash. And we also see that this user, Danny Scott, is in the domain admins group, meaning that he has the most powerful rights in the domain, Windows domain. The processes that are running on the machine, here you can see if there are any antiviruses software or any software that is running. And for the file scraping part, you can see that Sniper automatically goes through the users directory and reads some sensitive files that it can find there. So from Susanna Miles, you can see some passport file. You can look at the desktop and to see what files people have there. This guy has some in the downloads, has some movies. In the desktop folder, if we look, we see an interesting file here. If we click on it, we can get the contents. So it's a password file containing usernames and passwords for various services in the network. I'm sure that many people still have this approach of putting some password file on their desktop. And if we go to the other user, Danny Scott, then we can see in the documents some, since he's a database administrator, we can see some interesting files, SQL files, and web config file, which has some credentials to a database, and so on. And yeah, so this is the file system artifact that Sniper automatically extracts. And the final thing that I wanted to show you, let us see what we can do with this password hashes. So, for instance, if we get the NT hash here, and we put it in a free Backstation, it's a common password cracking site. Let's try to crack it, and we can see we have obtained the clear text password of this user. So we managed to crack the hash, and with this hash, let's see if we can actually connect to the target and gain access to it. So we'll change the user. And the password that was cracked. And yeah, we see the same files that Sniper has read from the in the file system artifact. Okay, so right now we are logged in as Danny Scott, who is a domain admin user. So these are the capabilities. No, not shut down. Sorry. These are the capabilities that Sniper has currently implemented, and we intend to enrich the artifacts that are being automatically extracted, and also our team of security researchers. We have a dedicated team for that. They are producing new exploit modules every week, and every time there is a high-risk critical vulnerability that pops up, we immediately implement a module for that. So that would be all for my presentation. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, I'm here.
Thanks so much, Adrian. That was extremely insightful, and it looks like an amazing way to kind of, if you could just turn on your camera. Okay, there you go. So we can see you. Thanks so much for that. That looks like a very powerful tool for many people who have not just listened to the presentations that were before, but who do this kind of work every day. Since it was a tad difficult to follow all of the details throughout the demo, where can people get more details if they want to see how Sniper works and possibly, try and understand its capabilities better and see how it might work for them?
Yeah, so directly on the pentesttools.com website, Sniper has a dedicated page in the tools section, and there are all the details there. And also, if you follow our LinkedIn account, you have a lot of interesting data there about the new tools that we push and all the updates.
Oh, thanks so much for that. We can't take any questions right now simply because we're a bit over time and we're looking forward to welcoming our next speaker. But thank you so much once again. And I just want to remind everyone that all the presentations will also be live on the DefCamp YouTube channel. So you'll be able to kind of go back, rewind, pause where you need to pause, look at things, zoom in, take screenshots, and then work all of that into your workflow. So just as a reminder for that. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.